Hey guys, how is it going? Welcome to another good day. Hi, hello, hey, what's up guys? Good morning, I'm back to the light of day. It feels good, to be chatting with you all. I was trail running the other day, a few days ago, and there's a trail around the Lake Fayetteville, and it's really pretty. Most of the lake is actually blocked off by trees. The trail doesn't really skirt the lake. It does go around it, but you can't really see it often, for the most part you can't really see it. But there's this one really specific part in which a tree fell during a storm, a couple months ago, and it opened up this really big gap to show the lake, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So naturally I had to stop and pull out my iPhone and take a picture, and here's a picture of it right here. And it's really cool because I was standing on the roots. I was standing on the roots in order to take this picture. And as I was standing on the roots of this tree, of this fallen tree, I thought, what a cool scene. That the failure of something, the remains or the aftermath of a lost battle. This tree fell because of a storm. It got knocked down. It got pushed down. The remains of that on this lake opened up the view so that people could see beauty at a greater scale. I think that in life, so many times we go through moments that we seriously do not get. We just don't know what just happened, and we don't know why that happened, and we ask God, why do you hate me? Why do you do these things to me? Why do these things happen to me? Why don't you make things better? Why don't you, change things in my favor? Why haven't you done the thing that I've been praying for such a long time? Why do things seem to go wrong? Why have I failed and failed and failed and failed and just never gotten anywhere? Why is that? And we love to blame God for things that just kind of happen, In the storms of life, things are going to get knocked down. Things are going to get messy. And yes, we will lose. And yes, there will be failure. But just like it happened with this tree, it is only a small part of the grand scheme of things. Every day, every storm that we face, every challenge that we face, it is only really a small part in the rest of our lives, in the grand scheme of our lives. And just like this fallen tree, those losses, those failures, those gaps in our walk through life eventually will open up. They will make way for us to be able to see greater beauty in life. I know that doesn't seem to make sense, but perhaps you do know what I'm talking about. Perhaps you have experienced this, and I just want to let you guys know and remind you that whatever it is, it too shall pass. It is going to end eventually, and it is going to become better. And one day, maybe not today, but one day, you will look back on it and you will say, man, I get it now. I just finished reading this book right here. It's called The Greatest Salesman in the World. If you haven't heard of it, or if you haven't read about it, or if you haven't read it, or if you have read it, it's so good. It's super short, look at it. It's really thin. But what it talks about is not necessarily the greatest salesman in the world. It doesn't really teach you how to become a great salesman, though it does. It's more about having tenacity for those things which you are passionate about. And one of the principles that this book teaches you is that in order to have that tenacity, one must be able to take failure, embrace it, and then overcome it, and love that failure. Love it knowing that good things will come from it. How? I've told you guys that I like trail running, and that I like rock climbing, and that I like, mountain biking and cycling. I like things that are very individualistic, individual, by myself, me. Whenever I play team sports, I'm not the best, okay? I'm not the best athlete. I'm not the best, at catching things or throwing things or kicking things or, juggling things. I've played tennis, I've, soccer, ultimate frisbee, volleyball, dodgeball, baseball, kickball. I'm just not good at those things. So the other day, I got invited to play Ultimate Frisbee. A friend of mine whom I really care about, I love him, he had been inviting me for a while. You know, he put me on this group me, and he's like, dude, you have to come next time we play, it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be fun. He knows that I run, you know, he knows that I can be of service to the team. I show up, and we start playing. It was at 1 out of 10 success in my catch and in my tossing ratio. It was so bad. It was so bad. Maybe not necessarily because of my fault we lost, but yes, because of many passes, many things that I did poorly, we did lose. You know, every single game that I played and every team that I was in ended up losing. And it got to me, man, okay? You know, I walked out of the field and I had my head down, and I remember thinking, you know, I had just gotten done reading this book, and I asked God, Lord, how do you look back on failure with favor? How do you look back on failure and take pride in it? I just lost and possibly cost the loss to my team every single game for the past 3 or 4 games that we did. How do I look back on that, my God? And it's funny because the devil, you know, evil spirits in your mind, they will start telling you, look, you've done this so many times before, and it's been this way for such a long time, you know, since I was a kid, and the devil starts putting lies into your mind, you know, and you start to believe those things. And how do you look back on those failures with favor? How do you look back on those things? To tell you the truth, I don't know. But what I do know is that these things, these daily failures, these day-to-day small failures, are indeed small, and they can be overcome, and they can be eventually something that you look back on in your life and you think, I get it. It might not be today, it might take years. And I'm going to talk about my failures later on. I actually have to make a shout out to my friend Logan. You know, he works with me, and I didn't tell him something that he needed to know. And the day of, you know, he shows up and he's like, wait a minute, you mean I'm doing something entirely different than you had told me, and you had to wait until this morning, the day of, to tell me that. I'm sorry, Logan. I'm really sorry. Either way, guys, I'm sorry. I fail, you know. I'm not being as constant in the videos that I put to you guys, you know, and I haven't done many of the things that I've said that I was going to talk about. They're still in my mind. I haven't dropped them. I really care about you guys, and I hope this channel is encouraging you guys, and I hope this is working out. You know, in sharing what a good day God makes whenever He's in control. Failure is a part of everyday life, and the only way that failure can be looked on with favor is when you look at it through God's eyes, to be honest. I'm sure there are other philosophies out there that believe the same thing, but I think we only get so much clarity whenever the sovereign God, you know, the one who sees everything, comes down to you and gives you that clarity that you need that exact moment. So there you go. That is everything that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye.